Hello there. Sorry for not uploading yesterday. Thing is, we basically had to prepare a military operation. And I don't say that lightly. Thing is, we kind of decided, as in my flatmate and I, we decided that if we were to wait a few weeks to buy food, then at the end of the day, the risk of infection increases exponentially. The situation in Spain is not good. As in, I keep saying that every single video, but it is true every single time because it just keeps going from bad to worse. Say, for example, a few days ago, the military took an ice rink, and you might ask, why an ice rink? Well, the thing is, the cadavers were just overflowing, and the morticians and the like just simply couldn't cope with it. So the ice rink, because it's essentially a giant freezer, is being used to store all the piling bodies. So, yeah. Besides that, it's starting to look like a fucking zombie apocalypse here. Say, another few days ago, the army discovered that an old person's home was just essentially left to die. Once a couple of people got infected, the workers just abandoned their posts and left the entire old person's home to die, to get infected or just not get their meds or anything of the sort, but simply complete their election of duty. So yeah, overall, each and every day that we would wait was increasing the risk considerably. So because of this, we had to do it immediately. Time was of the essence. So we started planning this like a military operation. We have a supermarket within Iceland. We can see the crowds forming. We had enough information about the flow of people and we started planning. But before that, there was a stage of information acquisition. Every single day, we would basically ask people. I would open up the windows and yell at somebody who had just left the supermarket and ask them, how are the stocks doing? How are the shelves doing? Because overall, a few weeks ago, everything was empty. Now it seems that panic buying has somewhat subsided simply because people are too paranoid to go outside. So whilst there are lines, everything sort of seems to be there. But either way. So, having had that information, we decided to go during the afternoon because mornings usually there's a fucking line. Secondly, to go to go within the week because most people for some reason tend to panic on Mondays, but we don't know why. So we decided within the week in the afternoon, and we also would maximize our opportunity because this particular supermarket gets deliveries over the course of the week, so we would maximize our chances of getting all the items that we need. So once the plan was set, at 5 on the dot, we raced to the supermarket and just started piling everything that we could to our shopping cart. Everything. And yeah, we bought everything, but overall the mood throughout the shopping trip was tense to say the least. Like, we were wearing gloves throughout the whole thing because we didn't want to risk carrying the infection back home. So we were also paranoid of touching our faces or anything of the sort because that is the main vector of disease, you know? And yeah, overall, besides that, all the customers were giving each other a wide berth. Everyone's fucking paranoid. And every single thing that people would say to each other was just about COVID. And it often gets scary. Say, for example, I overheard two supermarket employees talking with each other. I think it was like a stock assistant, somebody who was stocking the shelves, and the baker. And the baker, I think it was, started saying that they were paranoid because the day before they had had high temperature, but it fortunately had gone down. And I just started nervously laughing. This is someone who's preparing food, who's preparing baked goods for hundreds, if not thousands of people, and he very much likely has the disease. So, needless to say, I didn't buy any bread. So, anyway, we bought everything that we could. I filled 2 large backpacks that I was wearing, one at the back, one at the front, and 2 very large carrier bags. And even then, I sort of feel that I should have bought more, quite frankly. But anyway, once we arrived, we started disinfecting everything. We put a large bucket with hot water and bleach and just took 2 sponges, and for the next few hours, we started cleaning everything. Once we finished rinsing everything with bleach, we took our clothes off, took a shower, and disinfected the clothing. Afterwards, after we've left everything to rinse from the bleach, we took it and rinsed it in water so that the bleach didn't corrode the cans or anything of the sort, or the foods so that they were edible or didn't rot or anything of the sort. So overall, afterwards we also had to dry it. So this whole operation took several hours. What would have usually just been a shopping trip of 10 minutes at most, nowadays is becoming a very serious affair. So overall, this whole thing is escalating beyond our scope. I'm constantly hearing more and more people that I know personally, or who know someone personally, who are getting infected. And the worst is yet to come, as in terms of exponential growth, the world has just started, quite frankly. And that's what concerns me. If the planet is already losing its shit, when things are, if we look at it in a broad perspective, things are relatively mild. Imagine when the exponential scale actually starts accelerating at a rate that is uncontrollable. Already hospital resources are strained as it is. I'm kind of curious what the next 3 months are. I'm optimistic about the future in a year, but I'm not optimistic for the next 3 months. It's gonna be a rough ride for everyone, and if it hasn't hit you yet in your area, it will. And on that happy note, I'll leave you. See you in 2 days, and stay safe. Bye.